everyone. I'm Larry Ridley, and this is the NFL on EA Sports. It's hard to imagine this not being a fun game to watch. It's the Dolphins going up against the Seahawks. With that, let's get you up to Seattle. We're standing by are our commentators, Brandon Guyton and Charles Davis.
All right, Larry, thank you. We are in the Pacific Northwest as we get set for football at CenturyLink Field here in Seattle. Tonight, it's a preseason matchup between the Miami Dolphins and the Seattle Seahawks. This is taken at the 3. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. So here come the Dolphins now as they get set to take over on offense. And they will be led out by their rookie quarterback. As they run the counter play. And he'll take this up near the 35, maybe the 34. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. He rifles one that's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. And the defense could not have written a much better script than that first drive, pick 6.
The offense never got a chance to really get oiled up there, did they? But the defense, they certainly got in gear. What a big-time play and a great way for them to start.
And now the offense, they've got to turn things around and figure this out because your backs are on the ground real quickly.
Yeah, usually when you're starting the game getting the ball, 0-0 is the only score you're worried about. Now the second time you get it, you're already down a touchdown.
Extra point attempt here still to come. And this will give the Seahawks a 7-0 lead. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. This is taken at the 3. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. And the Dolphins getting set to go here. They'll come out throwing here on first down. To the sideline, and oh, a nice catch there. Made sure the feet were inbounds, and they were. And if this offense is going to flow today, certainly the running back will be a key piece.
Without a doubt, because they asked their runner to not just do that, but to block, to catch, to help set a tone for their offense.
And to give this time to the tailback. And he'll take this all the way down to the 15-yard line. It's a big play there for Miami. 55 yards on the ground. Now, he may not be the top guy in the league, but he shows right there, and we know it. He's got the big playability.
And he's showing it to us right now because he's letting the league know he's going to be there when the regular season begins. He uses preseason as not just an audition, but preparation. He's ready to play.
They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side. Inside the red zone here, they'll look to throw. Under pressure, and he'll go down. Back at the 26-yard line. And it's never good to take a sack. You really don't want to take one down here in this part of the field, down near the red zone.
Not at all, because you're already pretty much assured of a field goal. But you take a big sack, it could push you out of range, and that's why defenses get a little more aggressive in this situation. They're almost conceding the 3 points. They want to push you back and try and take you out of that.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And they won't fare much better here as he maybe gets back to the line. And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a third down.
I know from an offensive perspective, you want every play to be a big play. But sometimes the defense actually wins, and they did there on that draw play. Good job by the runner just taking care of the football because he didn't want to compound a bad play by turning it over. A nickel look by Seattle on third down.
Yep, 5 defensive backs now. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. Looking middle, and that's complete. And he'll be brought down at the 21, just shy of the 20 in the red zone.
That's certainly playing down in distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath, by all means.
On now the Miami field goal unit. On the left hash mark, this a 38-yard attempt. And the 12-year veteran knocks it right through. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So a good kick there, and they wrap up the drive by putting 3 on the board.
And you know, let's face it, you're not always going to come away with 6. Defense in the NFL are just too good. But you've got to come away with something. And there, they get 3.
This is fielded at the goal line. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. So out come the Seahawks now for their first possession. At a glance at the man under center at 6'5", he always demands attention.
What's up, Cameron? Hey, man, it's preseason, baby. We 1-2 in preseason. It's preseason. Only reason I'm recording, man, is because we have some new rules. So I have to make sure we can only call 2 of the same pass plays per game and 8 of the same run plays per game, 2 per quarter. So I want to track my log to make sure I'm not breaking no damn rules.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And the run as he's up past the 35-yard
We get busy for real next week, baby.
First down, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 2.
Paulie, you got to make a guy miss, man. What are you doing? So I have to make sure, guy. That's what this is all about, man.
Really well done.
Back to throw. And he'll bring it up here
Yeah, ready to get the first down.
40-yard line. The gain of 4 that time as the drive continues.
So, got to have a new approach, baby. Oh, come on, guy.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line.
I hate to hear that, dog. Well, man, I'm unplugging my mic, man, because like I said, I'm just here for preseason, baby. So we'll get busy for real here. So I got to write shit down. But, hey, man, I'm sorry to hear that, dog.
In other words, can the defensive guys hold their leverage? What we were always taught was keep your outside arm or outside shoulder free. If you were playing on the play side, meaning the ball coming towards you, and anyone coming from the backside, they're pinching down and sliding.
The Dolphins get there this time, and they bring him down. Call it a loss of 5, a big sack to bring up 3rd down.
Well, this is what happens when you get behind the chains, as people like to say. When you have obvious passing situations, hard to vary it up and fool a defense.
And you hate those situations if you're an O-lineman, right?
Oh, without a doubt, because you just know they're coming, and you never know exactly how. They can be exotic in their blitzes, or their athletic ability just takes over.
And the defense will try and pin their ears back and get pressure again here after the sack. It's third down. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. And he's unable to haul it in. So it falls incomplete over the middle third of the field. And that brings up fourth.
It looked like they had something there, but I think that he was thinking about running with the football before he actually hauled it in, and that led to a big drop.
The Seahawks send out their punter as he's on to punt for the first time tonight. It's taken to the 26. Give him 11 yards that time on the return, and it'll be Dolphin football. The Dolphins offense now working their way back onto the field. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you've met fan bases that wanted that, that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it. How many times do we say in this game that speed kills, and it does it in so many different ways? In this case, you got a back who's quick and shifty, can make moves, make people miss, but also gets to and through a hole before it can close down. That's some of the benefits of that speed, not just outrunning people in the secondary. That led to a really nice game.
They'll run it now out of the gun, and he got blown up, losing yardage on the play back at the 44. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be second down.
The defense won that play so fast that I think if the running back even had time to notice if anyone was there, it was just a blink of an eye, and there was a loss on the play.
And they'll go with a ground attack here. And he's going to bull his way forward to the 48. Give him 4 on the carry there. But that'll
Breezy B, what's up, man? It's preseason. Just only reason I'm recording, man, because we've changed some rules. So I got to make sure, man, I'm trying to log my play selection so I can go back to make sure I'm not breaking the rules. We don't get busy and for real till next week, man. How you be, Breezy B? Breezy B? Oh, bitch. He got that off. Oh, he caught that over you, Kennard. What are y'all doing?
And the Dolphins have taken the lead.
What the fuck was that? I mean, you were right there. Snuck the ball down. Wow, what a catch.
I know you hear it a lot, but it's just the will to
And you're right there, dude. Look at you, short. God.
and some talent, too. Now the extra point. And it's through, and that makes the lead 10-7. So that drive, 4 plays. And it winds up in 6 points for the Dolphins. The kicking team out for Miami as they will send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Seahawks offense now, they get ready to come back onto the field. And last time out, they had to punt the football away. Anything positive possibly to take from that?
There always is when you're punting the football away. It doesn't sound like it because you're giving it up, but you've avoided a mistake.
At least you didn't turn it over, I guess.
You didn't turn it over, right? You're giving your defense a chance because you're punting the ball away, and they're set to go on the field as opposed to sudden change after a turnover, and wow, now we've got to go out there and stop people. So, yeah, there's always something positive to be gained from it.
They go play action here on first down. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory.
That crossing route is so effective when you hit it just right because you get a guy on the move, and then we see the end result there.
Nightmare for the defense. They got a guy with a full head of steam.
Not only does he catch it, but he picks up additional yardage after it.
They'll come out
Sir.
in the pistol. And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And he's going to be met at about the 43. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down. And after the play on the ground, that brings up second down here. 1 receiver left, 2 to the right. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw.
Good job, good job, good job. Swing low.
And that's one of his advantages of a passer is now with his height, sitting back there in the pocket, firing over the middle. He can really see everything clearly.
It is, and I know that other quarterbacks get it done different ways, all right? You don't have to be his height to make a great play. But what he does is he takes away having to make those slide steps in the pocket.
Oh, you missed the block, full bag.
He just throws right over the top of it because he can
It's a
see
good
everything.
kick out.
And sometimes that saves time and gets the ball to a receiver quicker.
As we look at the defensive starters, the secondary, they're certainly going to need to be on their toes in this one.
And you know me really well. Where do I start analyzing a game? From the secondary. And these guys have to be on point today. They're facing a high-powered attack.
Now a handoff looking right. And down
Good run, Paulie.
shy of the 10. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
Whenever we meet with coaches and they always talk about wanting to establish running the football, it's oftentimes with a good tight end who can control the line of scrimmage at the point of attack, and they're becoming harder to find because the colleges are giving us a whole lot of receiving time.
Good job, guys. Good job, Paulie.
A great play there. A 10-yard touchdown run. And the Seahawks are going to retake the lead. Solid job up front. Really just a solid job all the way around to get that one in.
Good
That was well executed, wasn't it? Well blocked. Well
job, Paulie.
end result. 6 points.
Touchdown. Point after try forthcoming.
Look at this shit here. He almost blocked that.
And that makes it 14-10.
Preseason, baby, we can't get fired up. You know, last year we started off good, then we, faded towards the end, baby. It's preseason, Breezy B.
This is taken at the 3.
Start bringing the scrubs in here in a minute. Oh, come on, don't you start
Good
this shit.
starting field position.
Why is Hines on the kickoff return team?
5-yard line.
Oh, are we really?
The Dolphins offense now heads back on the field.
Oh, my
Last time they
God.
were
Why
out
is he on the damn kickoff return team?
trailing, you
Doing well, dog. Gotta step out of here in a second, though. Go pick my daughter up.
The last time, but not quite as worried about being down on the scoreboard because now their confidence is
Why is this defense has to be better than it was last season?
They can attack again and put more points on the board.
Are you scored watching if you're the offense, or are you just focused on this drive?
We wouldn't be telling the truth if we said that they didn't score more watch. Everyone does it to some extent. You've got to set it aside right now and just focus on this.
Come on.
That'll take care of the scoreboard if they punch it into the end zone.
No tackle on that side.
Side, he's got it complete. 5 yards on the pickup, and they're going to have a third down.
That was not a completion that results in a highlight video. But at the same time, if you have those kind of completions all game long, eventually one of them might turn into a highlight.
They'll come out in the pistol.
Get off me, homie. Get off me, homie.
On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air.
Oh, man, you almost missed that. You almost got that, Harvey.
Yardage there as he takes
Hurricane Harvey. Way to try to go get it, though.
The goal of every offense is to move the
Wow.
chains, pick up first downs. A nice job.
Give me a
finding an
replay.
open receiver
He
for
just
a
barely
completion.
missed hitting that. Oh, nice try.
Jones touted last night along with Holiday Cheer. The African-American community.
They'll look to throw here on first down. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end.
Better rally to the ball.
When you execute a drag or a crossing route really well and give them a chance to let it develop a little bit, you can gain some significant yardage hitting your tight end on that one.
At the end of one, 14-10 the score. Back now with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Second quarter begins with the Dolphins in possession of the football. They've got it 2nd and 4 to start things out.
When you take a look at Colin Powell, you have to wonder whether that's an endorsement based on issues or whether he's
and now a first chance for the backup here to throw. He's got pressure comes. He's taken down by the Seahawk defense. Calling a loss of 5 on that sake to bring out 3rd down.
Sometimes I watch games and wonder why they use play fakes on certain passing situations because it's not going to fool anyone. I don't know if that was the case here, but the end result was the same. No one fooled. Quarterback was hit.
And defensively, it's a nickel formation here on 3rd down. Looking to throw.
Oh, come on, come on, come on. I like this big boy here. Come on, big boy. Oh, he's passing out of scrimmage.
From the left side, it's complete. And he gets this one all the way.
Oh, what was that?
Since the moment the
First of all,
for Jones, pundits
why the
some
fuck?
sweeping claims about what this all means for America. Many saying Jones
Y'all gotta
supports
stop
good
this
because it
bullshit.
shows
Why the
Alabama
fuck
rejecting Roy Moore's
is
lawlessness
whatchamacallit in the
and
game?
sexism.
Stevens, thank
Let's
you.
pause on that for a moment.
Sykes,
Last
no.
night, Alabama backed Jones by about
Put that guy in. What are you doing?
Unusual for a Democrat, but very narrow. Last year,
And why
America
is
backed
Hines
Jones
out
by
here?
2.1%. A wider margin,
no.
a lot more votes.
Oh, why is
since
he?
it included 49 other states. So every time you hear someone talk about Alabama rejecting the Republican last night, recall that far more
Damn, we
Americans
just don't
rejected
have. I tell you
Trump
what,
by
I'd
an
rather
even
for this
wider
guy to
margin
be higher
last
than
year.
that.
Two very different
Put him
elections
right
in
here.
2 very different years, where most people
What are you
voted
doing,
against
man?
Trump.
Why do you? What is this shit?
Last year, winning more votes
Are
did
you
not
fucking
determine the
kidding
winner
me?
because of our Constitution's rules. While last night, winning more votes did
Put him
determine the
in.
winner.
Hey, get Hines out of here. Hines is an old man. What y'all doing? You trying to kill him? We need him for the we need him for the regular season. Mears, I like that. Oh, they got Mears in 2 spots? What are these clowns doing?
Mention that more people voted for Clinton, and you'll find yourself in a debate about her. But the larger point is not blue or red.
Let me get this guy in here. What are y'all doing?
Into one narrative is a mistake. Trump's narrow second place
Mears, he can't start in 2 spots. Get this. Go get him out of here.
Loss defines the true Alabama. When just under half the electorate backs those candidates,
Hey, put that guy in. What are you doing?
Why? When the Electoral College
Hey,
keeps
put
turning
him
the
in
runner-up
there.
into president, this has happened 5 times now. A democracy has to reckon with whether it's very democratic. And ultimately, our desire for simple stories to explain the world runs deeper than our politics or our media. It's actually in our minds. As the neurologist Oliver Sacks wrote, truth is important, but it is not.
Alright, damn, y'all trying to kill my guys.
This
boy shouldn't be on the field. Oh, hold on, let me fix this too.
Directly recorded in our brains. Our only truth is narrative truth, the stories we tell each other and ourselves. Our stories matter. Last night was a story of change, a story of light, a story of Roy Moore
Somebody hurt?
pushing the limits and the people saying no.
What are we fucking doing?
That's one narrative truth. But
Put
like
this
Trump,
guy
it was
in.
also a story of someone pushing the limits and getting almost half the vote and almost getting a reward.
He brought his old man, get his old ass out of here.
Getting away with it.
Vic, I don't like you being out there, but we're gonna put you out there.
At our own peril.
Let's move Garza where Vic
That is our
is.
show. Hardball with Chris
Alright,
Matthews
damn, let's go.
starts now.
Oh, I gotta go. Shit. Alright, let's go, guys. Let's go.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive the team towards victory.
A nice pickup of 14, and the moves and stick sets up a 1st and goal. And now the passing game here in the second quarter starting to heat up a little bit.
Don't you feel the rhythm starting to happen, right? You see it now, the confidence is starting
He
to
moved.
now as a play caller, because that is happening.
Oh, wow, he's going right in.
Touchdown, Miami.
I know, Coach Brown. Don't get a heart attack, man. Just calm down. It's preseason, dog. It's preseason. It's preseason, man. None of these guys are going to be on the field.
I know we don't talk about it enough, but the intelligence level of the guys up front blocking, the offensive linemen, maybe the smartest guys in football overall, add in a little bit of athleticism and a whole lot of toughness. You got a lot to deal with.
All right, Stalling.
Christmas gifts, right?
If they're smart, they do.
This will be fielded at the 6. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. And Seattle now ready to march out of the field. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that, they had a great air attack going. Did they stick with it?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident in what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Because the secondary, they really look close.
And that was amazing because that drive meant no adjustments and no big plays by the defense to not
Look, see, here we go. Here with this shit. Making them fucking dive in the fucking air and all that stupid shit. You know this fucking game, man.
To the 49.
This is bullshit. They make them do these stupid ass dives. Because here we go. Oh, diving the ball for. Oh, this guy just fucking. Oh, well, let me go get it. Oh, look, yeah. Oh, wait a minute. Let me turn around. Oh, yeah. Let me turn around and go get this. Yes. Fucking cheating rats.
So now here come the Dolphins. And that recipe on their last drive.
Hey, man, why is Hines out here?
Looked pretty good, so they'll be having to do that once more.
Oh, hurry up and get to the regular season, please.
They felt pretty good about their game plan and thought there were some holes in the defense and exploited them the last time out. Let's see if they can come back and put together a similar drive.
And we'll see if they can do just that.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking...
Stop, Chris Matthews. No, we don't want Corey Booker.
Any passing offense nowadays.
He's holding! That guy was holding us!
A good pick up there on 20 yards.
One thing I can say pretty safely...
Preseason, baby. Preseason. Don't worry about it. Second team off defense.
Give him 3 on first down. He'll set up a second.
We gotta go after this.
Now it's second and 7.
We'll pick up my daughter. Come on, guys.
They still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense and they can add up as the game goes on.
There you go. There you go. Step up. 98. What? Oh, you know what? Okay. You motherfuckers have lost y'all mind. Why is the fucking MVP on the field? What is wrong with this shit? Get him out of here. Earl, I don't even want you to be nowhere. Get your ass all the way at the bottom of every fucking list. Huh?
Women, they obviously said to America that we're going to be your rescuers.
What?
But what it does say is that there can be coalitions.
I don't want him to know it.
Maybe in some hard to win states, blue collar workers, along with
I don't want him on the field at all.
Working Americans.
What is this thing doing?
Big tent together.
Calling a gain of a couple, and that's going to lead them.
Put my guys in trouble here.
Second down was a run play. Now let's see what they do on third.
He better not be out here. He's out here. What are y'all? Oh my God.
Now a shotgun snap.
He's out here.
Looking for someone to throw to. And he couldn't hang.
And Hines is, oh my God, they're still out here. What are y'all doing?
Is nothing but toxic, and it is not going to
Oh, I'm getting a headache.
Yeah, I'm going to say a big, loud amen to what you just said at the end of the show, Congressman. Thank you for starting the show this way. Donald Trump was one of the only national Republicans to endorse Roy Moore and even record a robocall for him. That's what he did, the president did. But he downplayed that role today. He tweeted,
Put that motherfucker in there.
Endorsed Luther
What y'all
Straight.
doing?
His numbers went up mightily. He said, I said Roy Moore will not be able to win the general election.
All
That was
right, now.
right. This is Trump speaking. Roy worked hard, but the deck was stacked against him. Let me go to John Hammond on that. What do you think?
I don't understand why they putting him out here.
As you saw by 2 or 3 points, this one went the way of the Democratic candidate. It
He's
wasn't
not even
upset.
in the.
What was it that did it?
Yeah, it's hard to say that the deck was stacked against
Roy Moore when Democrats said they lose by 20 to 30
y'all
points.
fucking doing?
Contact.
What the hell is wrong with y'all?
We know it's not an easy job to go and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is, that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
And his kick is good. And they stretch the lead to 6. It's 20 to 14 now. So the drive stalls out, but they are able to put 3 points on the board.
Yeah, just a yard or two shorter than an extra point, so no problems converting there.
This will be fielded at the 8. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line.
All right, let's see, guys. Okay, we have it.
And last time, 1 play interception, so this offense, they should be fresh.
That's a good way of putting it. And I can't wait to see what they decide to do with play calling. Because a one-play drive where you throw an interception, a lot of people think that.
Oh, okay. Bye-bye. Okay, bye-bye, Stalling. Okay, bye-bye, Stalling. Bye-bye, Stalling. Hey, maybe I should put you as a quarterback. That was a bye-bye.
Let me first say, I'm excited, Chris, that we elected a Southern Democrat. I want there to be a big across-the-nation announcement in the New York Times.
You fucking overthrew him by a cut. What was that?
African Americans are thinking voters. And what
Oh, my. Hey, guys, who you throwing the ball to? You throwing it to me? You threw it right to him. Get out of here. Bye-bye, bitch.
Package, they went with 5 DBs.
Almost becoming the base package in the NFL is the nickel. Hard to throw against. That was demonstrated one more time. A pick 6 going the other way.
All right, Breezy B, man, I got to step out, dog. But I'm going to leave this shit on.
So the defense creating some.
All right, young rookie, you get me give you a series before I go pick my baby up.
This will be fielded at the 6.
I may be able to get rid of damn Stalling if you step up to the plate, dog.
Up to the 27-yard line. Here's the Dolphins defense as they head out to set up shop.
So I think the story is we're back to our Big Tent Democratic Party, the Southern Democrats.
Now a play fake here on first down.
In the same tent together.
And incomplete.
Young fella.
In the middle third of the field. That'll bring up 2nd down.
On any passes in the middle of the field, anyone who's going after the football is going to be conscious that it's probably going to be contested and often physically. Sometimes that leads to drops.
Poor young guy.
On play action, they'll throw. And he comes back with one complete.
Good catch.
That one good for 10 yards. And they'll be faced with a 3rd and inches.
So much goes into a successful play, doesn't it? How about that play action there? Freezing the defense just enough to bring the tight end free downfield for the completion.
They'll give it to him right at the gun. And he will have a first down here at about the 4.
Yeah.
3 yards there, good enough to keep the.
All right, young guy.
I always appreciate runners who understand situations. That was just 3rd and inches. No reason to dance around in the backfield and try and break off a bigger play. Just go pick up the first down, and that's exactly what he did.
He finds a man on the crossing route. And he'll be taken down.
All right, young fella. Don't get cocky. Don't get cocky. Don't get cocky. Oh, I didn't mean to call that again. All right, we got to roll. We got to roll.
The defense, so you got to be good with communication.
On the same plate twice, man.
Something that is really evident when you watch it on the screen, but everyone's talking, communicating.
All right. All right, fellas, we got to step out, pick up my daughters. We'll be back. We shall return.
I just feel like that there are people in our country who see a train moving in a direction and jump in front of it and think they're leading it.
Is this a lesson for Steve Bannon, do you think? I hope the biggest chance to be good candidates to win the Senate. So, yeah.
I don't think Steve Bannon adds anything positive at all to the dialogue in the country. I don't know who to identify with him. And to see him on the stage this week with the big American flag behind him, he looked like some disheveled drunk that wandered it off the street. To have him become the face of politics and have a major voice in politics, I think is wrong. I think we should shut him. I think we should cut him off.
Some disheveled drunk that just wandered in off the street. That's a Peter King. Let me go to Jennifer on this. Jennifer Rubin, your thoughts about the GOP and its construction now, because it clearly can't be big enough tent for this guy, Roy Moore, to be in the tent. Nobody wants him in the elephant tent.
Right. I think two things happened. One, as the Congresswoman said, Democrats were able to both energize their base and get some disaffected Republicans. And there are a lot of disaffected Republicans. It was the same thing they successfully did in Virginia. And if they can do that, I think the Republican Party is going to get a shellacking in 2018. Next thing, that at this point, the Democrats really do have the issues. What the Republicans are pursuing, if they ever want to get back to their economic message stinks right now. Their tax bill is very unpopular. They tried to take away Obamacare. That's not popular. The president's rating is down to low 30s. So I think Democrats kind of have a field day here. They have to run, I think, in some sense, a negative campaign running as a check, as a counterbalance against Trump, but also to put forth, I think, a traditional bread and butter Democratic message, which is, this guy's not for a populist, he's not for the working man and woman, that's who we are.
Let me ask John Heminger on the ground about that, because that's a question. I have a dog in this fight, because I want the Democratic Party, I want it to be bread and butter, I want it to be about jobs and economic growth. I don't think it should be pushing these social issues all the way to the wall, like abortion to the last minute and all that stuff. I think that's just a losing direction politically as well as, for me, morally. John, what was the issue that helped Doug Jones? Was it that he's a bread and butter Democrat and he didn't push the far out social issues, although at one point he did on the abortion rights, he went all the way to late term. What do you think got him acceptable to the moderate Republicans? Let's put it that way.
Well, I think he was running on a agenda that was very palatable to a lot of Alabamians. You know, he talked a lot about the children's health insurance program and needing to secure funding for that. That resonated statewide. He talked about making sure that we keep hospitals open in rural Alabama and the need to expand Medicaid. Alabama is one of the states that hasn't done that yet, and I think that spoke to working class voters around the state. And he also talked about the need to recruit jobs. And, you know, he didn't really run a very negative campaign when it boils down to it. He did draw a sharp contrast between himself and Roy Moore, but he did so in the way where he said, do you think that Roy Moore is going to be able to help recruit jobs and industry to the state of Alabama? Alabamians are not that different from the rest of the country. They care about the same types of issues, and I think that job development really helped flip people in the Birmingham suburbs and in Huntsville suburbs especially.
Yes or no? Can he get reelected in 2020 if he runs again for a full term?
It's going to be really tough. You know, 700,000 Trump voters stayed home yesterday. You'd have to assume that unless Trump continues to crater, that they're going to show up again in 2020. Yeah. But the power of the incumbency is strong, and if he and Senator Shelby can work together to do things like deepen the Port of Mobile or bring industry to the state, I think that, you know, people like Doug Jones. He has pledged to speak to voters all around the state in town halls and to keep his doors open, and he's been calling for unity and reaching out to both sides of the aisle. I think today he had a phone call with Senator Shelby and outgoing Senator Luther Strange, as well as President Trump. So I think he's a true Southern Democrat who's going to reach across the aisle.
I think dredging is a great issue for infrastructure. Create those jobs by bringing in the big ships. Thank you, U.S. Congresswoman Michelle Jackson-Lee, as always. Madam, thank you so much for coming on Hardball tonight. John Heminger, great inside look at the situation in Alabama economically, and Jennifer Rubin, who knows all things that we need to know here. You know a lot. Thank you so much, Jennifer. That's why you're writing on the editorial page. Coming up after last night's stinging defeat, Donald Trump is jumping through hoops to say he was right all along in Alabama. Didn't you notice? Despite endorsing and embracing Roy Moore, tonight the White House has to be worried. There's a reckoning heading their way, and a scathing new editorial on USA Today is calling Trump unfit as a person to be president. And that's ahead. Plus the Russia investigation. Deputy Attorney General Rod Rosenstein tells Congress there's no good reason for Trump to fire Special Counsel Robert Mueller. But as Mueller closes in on the White House, will Trump listen to that or be scared and fire him? And one day after the Republicans' train wreck in Alabama, they're plowing ahead with their very unpopular tax plan. We'll get to that with the Hardball Roundtable tonight. Finally, let me finish tonight with a picture of unity we saw last night in Alabama. I don't know about you. I liked what I saw. This is Hardball with the Action News.
Another day at the office. Why do you put up with it? Believe it or not, you actually like what you do, even love it. And today, you can do things you never could before. We're working in millions of places at once with IoT sensors, analyzing social data on the cloud to create new designs, and using blockchain to help prevent fraud. So get back to it and do the best work of your life.
The Ford year-end sales event is in full swing.
You are going to be a big surprise. I see a big puppy. I see a big puppy. Hey, Greg.
That's Ford, America's best-selling brand. Now get exclusive holiday offers with 0% financing for 72 months across a full lineup. For a limited time, get an additional $1,000 cash back on top of 0% financing for 72 months. Get these exclusive offers during the Ford year-end sales event.
Omarosa, the former Apprentice star turned White House aide, is leaving the Trump administration. According to Press Secretary Sarah Huckabee Sanders, Omarosa resigned from her post in order to pursue other opportunities. But numerous reports indicate that she's not leaving on her own accord. Longtime White House reporter April Ryan tweeted, "Sources say General Kelly did the firing, and Omarosa is alleged to have acted very vulgar and cursed a lot, and said she helped elect President Trump. The word is General Kelly had it and got rid of her." New York Times reporter Yamiche Alcindor added that according to sources, Omarosa was escorted off of the White House grounds by security. Meanwhile, a White House official tells NBC News that the timing of her departure was unexpected. We'll be right back.
Tries for 316, please. Thank you.
David, what's going on?
Oh, hey.
That's it?
Yeah. Everybody, 2 seconds.
Dear Sebastian, after careful consideration of your application, it is with great pleasure that we offer our congratulations on your acceptance.
Through the Tuition Assistance Program, every day McDonald's helps more people go to college. It's part of our commitment to being America's best first job.
Ron, something's going on at Schwab.
Oh, really? Thank you. Clients? Well, J.D. Power did just rank them highest in investor satisfaction with full-service brokerage firms.
Again. And online equity trades only $4.95. I mean, you can't have low cost and be full service.
It's impossible. It's like having your cake and eating it too.
Ask your broker if they offer award-winning full service and low costs.
How am I going to explain this?
If you don't like their answer, ask again at Schwab. Schwab, a modern approach to wealth management.
Can you see me? Because I feel like I'm invisible. Like if it weren't for the news, no one would think of this place. But here we have bright spirits and vivid dreams. If only the world could see.
The difference that I had shopping at Parkway was the feel of concern that they had for my situation. I was out of town when Hurricane Harvey hit, and my used pickup truck had flooded. So I started shopping online, contacted their chat option on their website. I made an appointment to go out to Parkway. I purchased the vehicle on the spot, drove it home that afternoon.
Find new roads at Parkway Chevrolet on State Highway 249 in Tomball or online at parkwaychevrolet.com.
It's time to get our priorities straight. So get out and vote for Roy Moore.
Welcome back to Hardball. That was President Trump stumping for Roy Moore on Friday. The president's now facing a reckoning on two fronts. Republican voters in deep red Alabama offered a sharp rebuke of Trump's candidate at the polls. Meanwhile, he's facing renewed scrutiny due to his own increasingly toxic brand. Politico reports the Alabama race handed Trump a big black eye in a state he won by 28 points in 2016, in part by creating a self-inflicted wound when he ignored the advice of both Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell and his own political team at the White House to stay out of the race. NBC News reports that a White House official acknowledged the obvious lesson of Alabama. Quote, candidates matter. Republicans just can't ride the anti-establishment sentiment to victory no matter what. But the Alabama race was only one condemnation of the president today, as he faces more fog over his sexually suggestive tweet directed at New York Senator Kirsten Gillibrand. On Wednesday, Trump said the senator went to his office, begged him for campaign money, and said she'd do anything. On a scathing editorial, the USA Today editorial board took Trump to task for that, writing, "Our president would all but call Senator Kirsten Gillibrand a whore, is not fit to clean the toilets in the Barack Obama presidential library, or to shine the shoes of George W. Bush." Well, Senator Gillibrand struck back at the president this morning on the Today Show. Let's listen.
It was certainly just a sexist smear intended to silence me, and I'm not going to be silenced on this issue. I've heard the testimony of many women, numerous accusers. I believe them, and he should resign for that. I think Congress should do an investigation. I can just tell you, the president's trying to certainly silence my voice on this issue of these allegations against him, and he's often berated women and made them feel that they cannot be heard as well.
For more, I'm joined by Michelle Goldberg. She's a columnist, of course, for the New York Times. John Fear, of course, our friend, Republican strategist, and David Mastio, USA Today's deputy editorial page director. So, David, I have to go to you. You know, I'm thinking that is about the strongest, toughest news editorial, unsigned editorial speaking for your newspaper I've seen you guys run.
I think it is. Certainly, we do not often speak with such fire. USA Today tries to be a practical centrist newspaper, and we try to keep our fire reasoned and focused on the issues. But with Donald Trump, there has become such a glaring and growing character issue that we felt it was time to speak with a little bit of a louder voice.
What do you make of Trump's Sinatra-esque? I remember when a reporter went after him, a columnist went after him, Maxine Cheshire, I think it was, he called her a $2 hooker. That kind of language, reducing a woman to that, when they disagree with him politically or editorially, it just seems to be, he seems to have the same sort of quirk. His mind thinks like that. How would you describe your critique of him in that manner?
Sometimes it's hard to see whether his mind thinks at all. He just reacts from the heart, from some kind of a dark place.
What's it say about his view of women as a gender?
You know, I don't know, but I'm awfully glad that I've never been a woman and in his presence. I think, you know, the record speaks very loudly about what a dangerous place to be that is.
I'm only thinking a little bit empathetically to the guy or woman who gets to clean the toilets at the Obama Library someday and thinking they're being compared to Donald Trump. Jesus. Anyway, let me go to Michelle. Just kidding. Go ahead, you, David.
We were saying that person is a lot better than Donald Trump.
Yeah, I hope you're saying so. Thank you so much. I like to be democratic here, and I am. Anyway, Michelle, you're the woman in the panel, and I want you to speak loud on this because I don't think there was any ambiguity. I mean, sometimes there is ambiguity in every line. Sometimes people in metaphor, and people take it literally. I know how this works, but he wasn't speaking in any complicated way. He was accusing her of coming to offer herself to him for money. It was pretty clear.
Right, and I mean, what was so fascinating was that his response to being accused of sexual harassment was to sexually harass a female senator in front of the world. And I think part of what he gets off on is the impunity, is the fact that all these other men are being punished, are being held to account in a lot of ways due to a kind of sublimated rage about his own election that's been redirected towards all these other figures because he's untouchable. And so the question now is, how untouchable really is he, right? If we're going to have if we're going to finally say that people who sexually harass women do not belong in public life, how can we say that when the President of the United States, by his own account, sexually assaults women?
Michelle, you're the first person I've heard say that. It's almost, I'm going to ask you to clarify that what you just said. I'm thinking about the reaction people have to what Trump has been accused of, what he's bragged about on that tape at Access Hollywood. He's bragged about experience, not about what he'd like to do, but what he's done. Grabbing people, whatever, groping, the whole thing, using people physically that he doesn't even know. And then I see what happened to Al Franken and others, and Al Franken especially. And I also think there's a tendency when you had a tough time at the office, you go home and yell at the kids because you can't yell at the boss. So I mean it. So is that what you were saying? Something like that's happened with the other perpetrators of bad behavior toward women?
I think that it's hard to overstate how degrading, how traumatic Trump's election has been for a lot of women. And one result of that was that women all over the country poured into local politics because they wanted to exercise power they wanted to find places where they could still exercise power because they were so disempowered nationally. And I think you see something similarly with women kind of cleaning house in their own industries, right? So we can't do anything about the sexual assault in the Oval Office, but you can finally tell your story about your boss.
That's a positive way of explaining what you're saying. Let me go to John Fear about this. John, the Democrats seem to feel a need, a moral need, I might even dare say moral these days, and it seems amoral political atmosphere, a moral need to deal with their own situation, even to the point of knocking off one of their best senators, of course Al Franken, but saying he did wrong, he must pay, or else we cannot be honorable. I understand that. But what do you think of what Michelle was saying, that the anger, the antipathy towards Trump's ruthless, willful, heedingless, I mean, just doesn't care what anybody says, and he keeps it up to the point of yesterday of basically taking a shot at a top senator because he doesn't like her politics?
Well, from a political perspective, I can tell you it's not really working that well for Republicans. You saw what happened in Virginia. You saw what happened in Alabama. I mean, the huge influx of conservative women who voted against the Republican candidates in both states should be troubling for Republicans, and we need to figure out a way to handle this, because if we don't, we're going to get killed in the next election. So this is problematic for the Republican Party. And you saw, I mean, what Michelle was saying, the anger felt toward the election of the president was manifested right after the president was elected with the Women's March on Washington. I mean, this is a real thing, and Republicans have to deal with it, because they don't, they've got to come up with a strategy. If they don't, they're going to be in big trouble in the 2018 election.
You're a Republican tonight. I mean it positively for you. Look, there's 5 or 6 tough Senate races coming up next year. They're going to start pretty soon now. Pennsylvania, Ohio, Arizona, certainly Nevada, where those races could possibly go either way. We don't know, but they're highly contested. Would you, as the Republican candidate, want Trump with you, in the room with you, on the stage with you in those states?
Well, I would want him with me on things that would help my campaign. You know, for example, I thought it would have made sense for him to campaign with Ed Gillespie in fixing transportation problems in Northern Virginia. That might have gotten some votes for him. You know, focusing on Confederate monuments and, you know, insulting women, that's no way to win the election. So I think that there are ways that Trump can be helpful, and he's got to get on an economic agenda. He's not on the economic agenda. His tweeting has been a real distraction and really hurt the real kind of, the brand for the Republicans, if they're going to win, has got to be about the economy, because that's the best thing about the Republicans right now.
Barletta, the candidate probably in Pennsylvania for the Senate against Bob Casey, is a big anti-illegal immigration, I should say, guy. Would you bring in Trump on his issue?
Well, I think that you know, Barletta has made his case on that. You know, I think that has other ramifications, though, on other issues. I think the best thing that Republicans can do is have some effective immigration enforcement, and then also fix the DACA problem, because the DACA problem is something that needs to get fixed.
Thank you, Michelle Goldberg. It's great having you on. John Fury, as always, and David Mastio for that very tough editorial from USA Today. Up next, Deputy Attorney General Rod Rosenstein testifies before the Congress and pushes back against the right-wing effort to undermine the Mueller investigation. He says he's seen no good cause to fire the special counsel. But will Trump listen to him? This is Hardball. The action is.
My weekly poker games moved to the Cobra Lounge. You'll help run it.
I was in a room with movie stars, directors, and business titans.
You're making thousands in tips every week.
Thank you, Molly.
I want you to listen. You are unimportant.
I wasn't gonna wait before I put a plan in place. We're spying $250,000. Spy.
I don't think I can defend the poker princess.
Do you think a princess can do what I did? You're incorrect.
Molly's Game. Rated R.
2 unique crossovers. The roomy Mitsubishi Outlander and the adventurous Outlander Sport. Both part of America's safest CUV family. Get $3,500 cash back and make no payments for 90 days or 0% APR for 84 months.
Hi, I'm Jesse. And I'm Ben. We started Hubble because contact lenses are too expensive. At Hubble, our fresh daily contacts are affordable and delivered straight to you. Get your your first 2 weeks free at HubbleContacts.com.
For adults with advanced non-small cell lung cancer, previously treated with platinum-based chemotherapy, including those with an abnormal ALK or EGFR gene who've tried an FDA-approved targeted therapy, here's a question. Who wouldn't want a chance for another? Who'd say no to a... Who wouldn't want a chance to live longer? Opdivo, nivolumab. Opdivo demonstrated longer life versus chemotherapy. Over 40,000 of these patients have been prescribed Opdivo. Opdivo works with your immune system. Opdivo can cause your immune system to attack normal organs and tissues in your body and affect how they work. This may happen anytime during or after treatment is ended and may become serious and lead to death. See your doctor right away if you experience new or worsening cough, chest pain, shortness of breath, diarrhea, severe stomach pain or tenderness, severe nausea or vomiting, extreme fatigue, constipation, excessive thirst or urine, swollen ankles, loss of appetite, rash, itching, headache, confusion, hallucinations, muscle or joint pain, flushing, fever or weakness, as this may keep these problems from becoming more serious. These are not all the possible side effects of Opdivo. Tell your doctor about all your medical conditions, including immune system problems, or if you've had an organ transplant or lung, breathing, or liver problems. A chance to live longer, because who wouldn't want that? Ask your doctor about Opdivo. See OpdivoTV.com for this and other indications. Bristol Myers Squibb thanks the patients, nurses, and physicians involved in Opdivo clinical trials.
So what do you guys do with your closet space now that you rent the runway?
My closet is open for business. My kid started a closet band.
Who needs a closet full of clothes when you can rent the runway? Endless styles, infinite possibilities.
Your brain changes as you get older, but Prevagen helps your brain with an ingredient originally discovered in jellyfish. In clinical trials, Prevagen has been shown to improve short-term memory. Prevagen, the name to remember. Tomorrow's headlines before they go to print.
What would your lead be about this event at the White House?
Tomorrow's questions before anyone's asked them.
How far is this from normal?
Tomorrow's conversation tonight.
As you delicately put it, this president plays whack-a-mole rather than chess.
I don't think there was any strategy here.
The 11th hour with Brian Williams. More than the day that was, it's the day that will be.
It is never boring around here.
The 11th hour, weeknights at 11 on MSNBC.
I'm Melissa Rayberger. Here's what's happening. Senator John McCain's office has issued a new statement on his health after the Arizona Republican missed a number of votes this week. His office says McCain is undergoing treatment at Walter Reed Medical Center for normal side effects of his ongoing cancer therapy. The governor of Minnesota has tapped Lieutenant Governor Tina Smith to take over Senator Al Franken's seat. Franken is resigning in the wake of sexual misconduct allegations. And the Federal Reserve is hiking interest rates for the third time this year, signaling confidence in a thriving U.S. economy. Back to Hardball.
Welcome back to Hardball. We've seen in recent weeks that the president's allies have been making a case that the special counsel's probe into Russia is tainted by partisan politics. Well, today the man overseeing the special counsel's probe into possible collusion and obstruction of justice was on Capitol Hill to testify before the House Judiciary Committee, and it was not a friendly reception up there. In the hearing, Deputy Attorney General Rod Rosenstein drew sharp fire from conservative Republicans seeking to discredit Mueller's probe as a hit job on the president. They cited reports that the wife of a Justice Department official had worked for the research firm that produced the dossier on Trump. They also seized upon the news that a former FBI official was removed from the special counsel's team in July for exchanging text messages with a colleague in 2016 that disparaged Trump. Well, those messages, which the Justice Department made public last night, said, among other things, that, quote, Hillary Clinton just has to win, and described the potential Trump victory as terrifying. Their release gave Republican lawmakers even more resolve today to accuse the Justice Department of bias against the president. Let's watch.
We are now beginning to better understand the magnitude of this insider bias on Mr. Mueller's team.
These texts are also evidence. They're not evidence of an appearance of impropriety. They're evidence of an actual vitriolic bias, of actual prejudice, of actual hatred for the subject of the special counsel's investigation.
You're the guy in charge. You can disband the Mueller special prosecutor, and you can do what we've all called for. Appoint a second special counsel to look into this.
At the same time, Rosenstein took heat from Democrats who want to ensure that the department isn't being politicized by President Trump or his allies. Here's Democratic Congressman Hakeem Jeffries.
Is it ever appropriate for a president, any president of the United States, to encourage the Department of Justice to launch criminal investigations against his or her perceived political enemies?
I'm not going to comment on that, Congressman. As I've explained previously, the President has put a team of experienced folks in charge of the Department of Justice, and we are not going to be influenced by anything other than the facts and law.
I'm joined now by Democratic Congressman Hakeem Jeffries of New York. Congressman, thank you. Give us a sense of what this smells like to you. Are they just trying to distract, deflect, discredit? Where would you put their target zone? What are they up to, the Republicans around the president?
Well, Chris, you're absolutely correct. They feigned anger and outrage at the alleged politicization of the investigation by this one FBI agent that has no basis in reality. There's no Department of Justice regulation that they can point to that was violated. FBI agents are allowed to have political opinions and to express those opinions in a private setting. We know that Bob Mueller, who's leading this investigation, for decades has been widely respected by both Democrats and Republicans, progressives and conservatives. He's a talented law enforcement professional. He's not going to allow politics to influence this investigation. He will follow the facts, interpret the law, and that will result in whatever conclusion he ultimately reaches.
It seems to me what the people around the president who are at least formally loyal to him are worried about is that Mueller's good. What do you make of that? That he's smart, that he's going to catch the bad stuff.
Well, he has absolutely proceeded in surgical fashion in terms of conducting this investigation that has already ensnared the campaign chairman, of course, who's been charged with crimes that include conspiracy against the United States of America, as well as Michael Flynn, his former national security advisor, who's pled guilty, Papadopoulos, who's a foreign policy advisor. So he's approaching this with a degree of surgical precision that I think has Donald Trump clearly rattled. That's why he's directed his allies on Capitol Hill to suggest that this is all a witch hunt or a hoax or a fraud when that has no basis in reality.
Well, throughout the hearing, Congressman Rosenstein, the deputy, has said there's no good cause to fire the special counsel Mueller, and he defended Mueller's conduct in carrying out the investigation. Here he goes.
Why, after you've heard all the concerns expressed here today, why are you satisfied with the course of the investigation so far?
I'm satisfied, Congressman, because based upon what I know, which is different from what accounts may appear in the media, based upon what I know, I believe Director Mueller is appropriately remaining within his scope and conducting himself appropriately.
Let me ask you a tough endgame question here, Congressman. If the special counsel comes in with what is basically an indictment of the president for obstruction of justice, do you believe the House Judiciary Committee will act on that and begin an impeachment proceeding? Will they do what they're supposed to do?
Right. I don't think that the House Judiciary Committee under Republican leadership will proceed in that fashion. As you know, Chris, we constitutionally are a separate and co-equal branch of government. We don't work for the President of the United States, Donald Trump. We work for the American people. But my colleagues on the other side of the aisle don't seem to have gotten that memo, even though it was written by James Madison and the founders of the Constitution. The only way this president will ever be held accountable is if the gavel is in the hands of the Democratic Party.
Well, that may well be in 2019, sir, based upon what happened in Alabama yesterday. Thank you, U.S. Congressman Hakeem Jeffries of New York State. Up next, Democrats pulled up a win in the reddest of red states last night, of course. We all know that now, but Republicans aren't letting last night's message get in the way of their big help the rich agenda. They're barreling through their deeply unpopular tax bill. You watch your hardball.
At HSS, we have a long history of doing research.
What I think sets HSS apart is the culture of innovation.
We're really a major center that's entirely focused on musculoskeletal conditions.
The research and technology add value by developing cutting-edge therapies.
It's about the right treatment by the person who's most skilled to do that with a long-term view to help people fully recover.
Every TV doctor knows scrubbing is serious business.
They also know you need to get your annual checkup.
Now, with one touch using the MyCigna app, you can find a doctor in your plan's network to save money.
You need to be thorough.
Cigna, together all the way.
When food is good and with Panera Catering, there's more to go around. Panera.
I even accept I have a higher risk of stroke due to AFib, a type of irregular heartbeat not caused by a heart valve problem. But whatever trail I take, I go for my best. So if there's something better than warfarin, I'll go for that too. Eliquis. Eliquis reduced the risk of stroke better than warfarin, plus had less major bleeding than warfarin. Eliquis had both.
Don't stop taking Eliquis unless your doctor tells you to, as stopping increases your risk of having a stroke, heart valve, or abnormal bleeding. While taking Eliquis, you may bruise more easily, and it may take longer than usual for any bleeding to stop. Seek immediate medical care for sudden signs of bleeding, like unusual bruising. Eliquis may increase your bleeding risk if you take certain medicines. Tell your doctor about all planned medical or dental procedures.
I'm still going for my best, and for Eliquis.
Ask your doctor about Eliquis.
Here's to the flavorful. Those unafraid to show their signature style, signature moves, signature everything. You add the spice that makes life interesting. So to you, we raise a sandwich as flavorful as you are. For McDonald's signature crafted recipes. Try the Swiss mushroom melt from McDonald's. Grilled mushrooms and 2 slices of real Swiss cheese topped with a creamy garlic and herb spread.
Meet the new builder. They're launching scrappy startups and reinventing big business. They know the freedom to fail is the freedom to build, and they don't freak out when they run into a problem. We're the cloud that's obsessed, turning their dreams into realities. With the most capabilities, the most innovation, the most customers, and the most experience. Because we believe nothing should stand in the builder's way. Amazon Web Services. Build on.
Welcome back to Hardball. The election of Democrat Doug Jones in the Alabama Senate race is a stinging defeat, not just for Senate Republicans, but also for President Trump and his agenda. It was the 3rd consecutive loss for the president, and the blame game has just begun. But despite the defeat, Senate and House Republicans are plowing ahead with their deeply unpopular tax plan. According to a recent Quinnipiac poll, more than half, in fact almost 2/3, 65% of Americans believe that the bill benefits the wealthy, with only 21%, about 1 in 5, thinking it benefits the middle class. Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer is asking Republicans to wait until Doug Jones is seated before voting on the plan, but Majority Leader McConnell has said no. No surprise there. For more, I'm joined by the Hardball Roundtable, Kimberly Atkins, Chief Washington reporter for the Boston Herald, Jonathan Capehart, opinion writer with the Washington Post, and both are MSNBC analysts, and Rosie Gray, White House correspondent for The Atlantic. Thank you all. Let me go with Kimberly. It seems to me that if Moore had been elected to the U.S. Senate, the Democrats would have 2 issues to run against Republicans on come next November. One would be Moore, who's stinking up the place with all his stuff and all his baggage, and the tax bill. Now they got is the tax bill. It seems to me all the guns are going to be pointed at that tax bill and the unfairness of it for the Democrats.
Yeah, and I think that's a smart move. I mean, I think that it is odd for the Republicans to really insist on pushing what is, as you said, a very unpopular tax bill. Every poll shows that Americans not only don't think it's going to benefit them, but that it'll probably hurt them, that they might be paying more. So the fact that the Republicans are rushing this through in order to get some sort of victory is really odd. What do they consider victory in the eyes of the American people? It seems more of an effort to please the president, who is still looking after yet another electoral sting of looking for some sort of legislative victory.
John, there's so many goodies at the top under the Christmas tree for rich Republicans. I mean, the goodies are, the lower corporate tax rate, and the estate tax exclusion has doubled to 22 million people for a company they could give their kids. $22 million is a lot of money. And then you got the alternate minimum tax has gotten rid of, all kinds of things. Carried interest has continued. But the one that jumps right out at me is that top rate now. It's going to get down from almost 40% down to 37%. It's almost 3%. And if you're making millions of dollars, 3% is a huge amount of money. I mean, cash in the pockets of the richest people. And everybody's going to know about this. Why would they do it?
Again, it goes back to what Kimberly was just saying. The president is looking for a win. Republicans are looking for something that they can take home and say, look, we promised we were going to do this, and we've done it. But I mean, as we all know in Washington, the devil is in the details. They announced the framework, and you mentioned some of the provisions. But when you start down the road of actually trying to secure the votes in both the House and the Senate to get this done, a lot of these things could change. These folks are so desperate for something, anything that they can pass both chambers and get to the president's desk and sign before the new year, that we won't know probably until the middle of the night what is actually in the final bill.
Let's go to Rosie on this. Rosie Gray, what do you think? Why are they going into the valley of death politically? I don't know how many votes. They already have the votes of the very rich. Why are they going to make it so clear they're going for the top 1% of the top 1% in the face of everybody else watching?
Well, look, the Republicans have had very few legislative accomplishments this year. The White House is desperate, like Jonathan was saying, for a win. And the fact of the matter is they just lost a Senate seat, making their majority even slimmer. So next year it's going to be even harder for them to get stuff done. So I think that they really are feeling a time crunch to get this tax bill through.
Well, a day after losing in Alabama, Republicans in the U.S. Senate were forced to reflect on their loss. Here's what they said.
This isn't a rebuke of conservative values or agendas. This is a rebuke of a candidate. I think President Trump was right.
I mean, this is not a new phenomenon. Both political parties have divisions within the party, and that it's important for, in our case, for us to nominate people who can win a general election, because that's what it's all about.
The people of Alabama, they had a difficult election choice before them.
Well, we had a blemished candidate. Everybody knows that.
Kimberly, what do you make of the Republicans? There's two kinds of Republicans: those who walk fast when they say they're for the tax bill, and ones who stand still when they're for it. But they seem to be unanimously for this bill, from what I can tell, except for Corker, he's going home. He doesn't count.
Right. I mean, their reaction to the election is interesting. They're all blaming Roy Moore on this squarely. But remember, this is not the first election where the Republican was dealt a defeat. We had the gubernatorial race in Virginia and others. That's really sort of starting to spell out that this new approach to elections, sort of appealing to white working class, aggrieved people, is not enough to win elections. It helped win that election for the president in 2016, but they're going to have to bring more to the table. I also think it's a lesson to Democrats. I don't think Democrats expected, for example, the black vote to turn out the way that it did last night in Alabama. And remember, even a year after 2016, Democrats don't have a cohesive message. They better put one together quickly that not only reaches out to white, middle class, or working class folks, but also doesn't forget other core members of their base. I think both parties have a lot of work to do.
Well, let's talk about that for a second here. Jonathan, jump in here. Your turn. You know, the idea that you need a positive African-American candidate like Barack Obama for president is probably going to be elusive in many cycles. Who's really going to be the nominee, although it could happen again with Cory Booker. He looks very good coming out of this race yesterday. But it seems to me there's also an incentive just to let people, give them a chance to vote against Trump. I get the feeling that's a powerful incentive for people to vote, just a totally negative voting opportunity. Say no.
Well, right, say no, and I think the president makes it easy for Democrats to set up a stark contrast. And it's not just being against President Trump, but you're against President Trump as the person and who he is as he fills the office, the Oval Office, but it's against President Trump and what he's proposing. And there's so many ways that Democrats can run against the president and what he's proposing, what his agenda is, that allows people to see what the Democrats have to offer. And so I will differ with Kimberly in that I don't think that the Democrats don't have a message. I think the Democrats do have a message. They have to figure out a much more effective way of getting it out there. And I think we've seen in the gubernatorial races in Virginia in particular and the Senate race in Alabama that the message is getting through.
I'm with Kimberly, John. Anyway, the roundtable is sticking with us, and up next, 3 scoops. We'll be talking about tomorrow. You watched it, Hardball.
This is electricity. This is a power plant. This is Tim Barkholz.
That's me.
This is something he's researching at ExxonMobil, using fuel cells to capture carbon emissions at power plants.
This is the potential.
Reducing CO2 emissions by up to 90%, while also producing more power.
This could be big.
Energy lives here.
Your vision benefits are about to expire, so it's time to use them. VisionWorks accepts hundreds of plans, including Davis Vision, and you'll get 50% off a second pair of glasses when you use your insurance. Time is running out, so use your vision benefits at VisionWorks.
You compare prices on everything. Flights, hotels, you name it. Now you can do it with life insurance. In just 5 minutes, Policy Genius compares quotes from top insurers to get you the best value. Compare and save with PolicyGenius.com.
Prime Minister, address yourself.
It takes the power of leadership to confront fear.
Our country must be saved.
Have courage, Mr. Courage.
And the power of words to unite a nation.
Victory at all costs.
Now, Darkest Hour is a Golden Globe nominee for Best Actor, Gary Oldman.
We shall fight on the beaches and on the landing ground.
And a Critics' Choice nominee for Best Picture of the Year.
We shall never surrender!
Darkest Hour, rated PG-13.
I'm up in New York for a couple of events tonight. I'm attending the Robert F. Kennedy Foundation's Ribbon of Hope Gala. Then I'm appearing later as a guest on Comedy Central's The Opposition to talk about my book, Bobby Kennedy, A Raging Spirit. It's up there on the New York Times bestseller list. And we'll be right back.
It all starts with a wish. The Lincoln Wish List event is here. Sign and drive off in a new Lincoln with zero down and a complimentary first month's payment.
I can do more to lower my A1C.
And I can do it with what's already within me.
Because my body can still make its own insulin. And once weekly Trulicity activates my body to release it. Trulicity is not insulin. It comes in a once-weekly, truly easy-to-use pen. It works 24/7, and you don't have to see or handle a needle.
Trulicity is a once-weekly injectable medicine to improve blood sugar in adults with type 2 diabetes when used with diet and exercise. It should not be the first medicine to treat diabetes, or for people with type 1 diabetes or diabetic ketoacidosis. Do not take Trulicity if you have a personal or family history of medullary thyroid cancer, if you have multiple endocrine neoplasia syndrome type 2, or if you're allergic to Trulicity. Stop Trulicity and call your doctor right away if you have a lump or swelling in your neck, severe stomach pain, or symptoms like itching, rash, or trouble breathing. Serious side effects may include pancreatitis. Taking Trulicity with a sulfonylurea or insulin increases your risk for low blood sugar. Common side effects include nausea, diarrhea, vomiting, decreased appetite, and indigestion. Some side effects can lead to dehydration, which may worsen kidney problems.
I choose once-weekly Trulicity to activate my within.
If you need help lowering your A1C and blood sugar, activate your within. Ask your doctor about once-weekly Trulicity.
We're back with the Hardball Roundtable. Kimberly, tell me something I don't know.
So today, Deputy Attorney General Rod Rosenstein testified before Congress. He defended Robert Mueller in front of some tough questioning by Republicans. But I'm hearing that there are lawmakers on both sides of the aisle that are concerned that President Trump might try to fire Robert Mueller. Republicans are trying to convince him not to, reminding him of the calamity that ensued after he fired Jim Comey, and saying he wants this to move forward and end and not create another controversy.
Wow. Jonathan?
Chris, Congresswoman Frederica Wilson of Florida tells me that the additional remains of Sergeant LaDavid Johnson, who was killed in that ambush in Niger, the additional remains that the Pentagon found were his teeth.
Oh, what's that tell you? Horrible. Anyway, Rosie.
Well, you might know this, but I think a key dynamic in Alabama that's been overlooked a little bit is that the Democrats did not even run a candidate against Jeff Sessions in 2014 for the seat that has now been won by Doug Jones. So just sort of goes to show you that, if you don't compete, you can't win, and I think that's a sort of key lesson for the Democrats going into next year.
I didn't know that. Thank you so much, Kimberly Atkins, Jonathan Capehart, and Rosie Gray. When we return, let me finish tonight with that wondrous picture we saw last night from Alabama. You're watching it. Hardball.
When the world hopes.
How many people have you rescued?
When the world cries.
They've been holding hostages as human shields.
When it erupts.
This is a big confrontation now.
Our journalists will be there.
this holiday, the real gift isn't what's inside the box. It's what's inside the person who opens it. Give Ancestry DNA. The only DNA test that can trace your origins to over 150 ethnic regions. And open up a world of possibilities. Save 30% for the holidays at AncestryDNA.com.
I am totally blind. And non-24 can make me show up too early or too late, or make me feel like I'm not really there. Talk to your doctor and call 844-234-2424.
May I help you?
We just noticed your lawn here needs a little...
What my lawn needs is for you nitwits to get off of it, okay?
Introducing Floodlight Cam by Ring. Learn more at ring.com.
Hi, I'm Courtney. I've been single for a long time because I'm always traveling.
Looking for a real relationship?
I love meeting new people, diving into different cultures. I'm not a game player, I like nice guys. So if you're out there, come find me.
Check out Match right now for
Oh boy, I'm back.
digestive system, try one probiotic. For a new sweet goodness, hold on to your tiara kind of day. Get 24/7 digestive support with Align, the #1 doctor-recommended probiotic brand, also in kids' chewables.
Experience with USAA has been excellent. They always refer to me as Master Sergeant. They really appreciate the military family and the shows.
We've got auto insurance, homeowners insurance.
Accident with a vehicle.
All right.
Call USAA.
He'll go down. They got him for a sack. Well, they go play fake. The problem is nobody was faked out.
And when no one's faked out, what's the end result?
Sack.
Quarterback gets hit.